If you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe and leave a comment down below. And also check out our partners, Nerds in the Hood, down in the description. And I hope to see you later on. Peace out. Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome to another alternative factuals video. Today we're going to be doing a video that we have not done in a really long time, I would say since we first got on YouTube. And it's funny because back in those days we actually did not have the best quality audio and we wasn't sure how to really edit our videos and all that stuff. So it's a little but I'll still link it down in the description down below. And don't forget to check out the links in the description as well for our podcast and all that stuff, just so you can always catch up on the things that we do outside of YouTube. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I'm pretty sure based on the title of this video, you can already assume what this is going to be about and what we're going to be discussing. And this is my personal opinion of the 4 most useful characters in Game of Thrones. Now, this list will consist of people not just simply based on powers or abilities or anything like that, but it's going to be based on the fact how intelligent they are, how useful they are to the plot, and maybe they aren't powerful, or maybe they have some sort of mystical abilities or something like that. But the list does not simply consist of people who have abilities or powers or extremely powerful or anything like that. So without further ado, let's kind of jump right into this list, I guess. So I'm going to start off at the bottom of the list at number 4 with Tyrion. Now, for those of you who don't really know who Tyrion is the dwarf sibling of the Lannisters. Now, he is someone who I personally feel like is very useful in the series, simply because he's one of those people who knows how the inner workings of a monarch really works, as well as he knows how to gather information from and about people, and he can manipulate it to work in his favor, which is a very useful tool when dealing with the people that you're dealing with in the Game of Thrones series. Now, despite the fact that he cannot fight and physically he's not really gifted for, obvious reasons, and also for other reasons, whatever, he is still very much with the shits. So he will definitely kill somebody if he really has to, but in most cases he doesn't have to, because he can kind of finesse his way out of most situations. He's a smooth talker, and he usually is really good when it comes to the ladies. And by ladies, I'm referring to the ladies that work at the whorehouse that are prostitutes, that we so locally call them nowadays. But besides that, let's get into number 3. Number 3 is Tarly. Now, Samwell Tarly, just to be more specific, because Tarly is his house name. But yes, Samwell Tarly. Now, Samwell Tarly is one of those characters who, if you know me or you know the group of people that I hang out with, he's one of those people who are very useful because he's a knowledge-based character, meaning he has this really good inclination towards learning, and he's very useful because he's chock full of information. He was the one who actually was able to get that grayscale off of Jorah, and the fact that he was actually able to get the grayscale off of Jorah was the very reason I got him kicked out of the Citadel. But overall, it shows how competent and how intelligent Tarly is, and his capability of learning different things, especially when he's under crunch to figure out that information. Remember, a lot of the stuff about the White Walkers, when it came to the Knights of the Wall or whatever like that, they actually found out from Tarly. He was the one who actually knew a lot of those legends and some of the stories that were told about the White Walkers initially when we were in like season 2 and 3. Number 2. Now, despite Bran being one of the most capable, gifted characters in the series due to his ability to kind of see the past, present, and future, what makes him, I guess, number 2 is the fact that when he's in his 3-eyed raven mode, or even when he's just being himself, because he's no longer technically Bran, he's kind of this vessel for these abilities, but he isn't really as useful as he could be. But he is actually one of the most powerful characters, because not only can he see the past, present, and future, but also he actually can manipulate time to a certain degree, as we found out when he was the very reason why Hodor kept saying Hodor, where we learned that it was a compression of the words hold the door, and he was the one who actually somehow linked the present moment in which he was trying to escape from the White Walkers and the zombies or whatever like that, and then he linked it to a moment in the past, and thus created this kind of aneurism seizure like moment happening with Hodor. And then once he kind of linked those moments, he was the reason why Hodor had this kind of brain disfiguration or something like that, where he had some sort of brain damage. But he kind of encouraged the events that would make Hodor work in the castle, because mentally he wasn't capable of living a regular life like everybody else. And he's kind of the Barry Allen of the show, so to speak. And And no, he's not the fastest man alive, but he definitely can ruin a few timelines if he chose to, which is why I'm putting him at number 2. And number 1, some of you may or may not agree, and of course it's okay, I respect your opinions, but this is for Arya Stark. Now, she is the god of the Game of Thrones universe in my personal opinion. Now, the reason I say that is because, remember, Arya was trained by the man who is no one, who had the face of Jaqen, and he's a mysterious man who introduced himself as a criminal who was arrested and he was put into the dungeons of King's Landing. And then eventually Arya found out that he was one of the people who worked for the, well, he was an assassin basically. And Arya actually went to go train with him. I think that was season 4, where she went to Bravos and she was accepted into the House of Black and White by the man who wears Jaqen's face after, you know, she found out he was impersonating him. Now, of course, she went through all these interesting trials and tribulations where she was forced to beg on the streets after she lost her eyesight, and then after she was able to convince a girl to drink a poison and actually so she can die slowly, then she was actually bumped up to the next level where she had to assassinate an actress, and then eventually so on later on, or not that later but a little bit later on, she actually gained the full-blown abilities of a faceless man where she can assume the identity of anyone, and she's able to literally destabilize a kingdom if she truly wanted to, which we did see when she killed this king, the old king. I forgot his name for some odd reason. I have no idea why am I forgetting his name, but of course it will pop up on the screen. And she literally killed him, then took his identity and destabilized the whole situation like that very next night, if I remember correctly. But let me know what you think about this list. Who do you think are the most useful characters in Game of Thrones? And if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe, and be sure to ring that bell, and I hope to see you later on. Peace out.